All right, so we're going to do something a little different today. I am still planning on wrapping up the quantum computing series by finishing Shor's algorithm, but I am also getting excited for Advent of Code 2022, which is about to start. And if folks don't know what Advent of Code is, it is this, adventofcode.com, and basically every day from December 1st through December 25th, there is a puzzle that's put out that is super fun, and lots of people do it. I guess it's starting in 58 hours and 30 minutes and 1 second. It's super fun, lots of people do it. I, in the past, have not done it because, or I've done a little bit of it, because I used to, have a job, and that took up way more of my time than I had to do these sorts of puzzles, even in December, and in fact, especially in December, it used to tend to be kind of busy for me. So I've dabbled in a few of the puzzles here and there, but this year I'm pretty excited to get to actually do it. And I think I'm going to stream quite a bit of it. There's a little bit of an odd thing where, like, I don't want to give away answers while people are competing. So I have to work out exactly when people tend to have finished it or when it's no longer competitive. So I might just, like, delay it by a day or two, and I don't stream every day anyway. But I think it's going to be exciting. I'm hoping to find some other people who are doing it as well, maybe inspire some people to do it, trying to get some friends of mine to do it in particular. And so obviously it's going to start in a couple of days, and I was poking around at last year's Advent of Code, and I just did the first few problems, and I found myself consistently creating this kind of structure where I basically have some, for each of the problems I would have, and maybe if you saw some of my Euler project content, you saw me do a similar thing. Like I would have the input files for the problems, and I would have the problem, this like problem, and then number it, and then I'd have a couple functions, maybe with some structs or something, maybe not, that are basically like solve the problem, and test the problem. And this boilerplate is like, it's like fine. Whoops, did not mean to debug that. Good thing it passed and I was right. It's fine to have some boilerplate, but I thought it'd be cool to do some code generation and just be able to generate all 25 days, all 25 problems worth of boilerplate in here for myself. Saves me having to, update the mod and so on. And like, how much time is this really going to save me? Well, I don't know, probably maybe half an hour over 25 problems. It doesn't take that long to do it. It's probably going to end up taking more time to write the code to generate the boilerplate than it is to actually write the boilerplate. But the other thing I have been interested in doing lately is learning about templating in Rust, which, if you're not aware of it, there are a few different templating languages, a few different templating crates, but this one, Handlebars, is like very common in the web world, and there's an implementation of it for Rust. And basically the idea is that you have these double curly brackets and call those handlebars, and then it provides a really nice interface to let you do a lot of pretty dynamic stuff. I don't even want to a guide yet. So you get to do a lot of pretty dynamic stuff to fill in your templates, and it's exactly the sort of thing you want to use to do this kind of code generation that I'm interested in. So I thought I would kind of kill two birds with one stone, and spend today setting that up. I expect to be able to do it in the next couple hours, so let's go. So I have a repository that I set up for this, and I pulled in handlebars. And basically the goal, also I'm learning Vim, and I've been learning Vim for a week or two. In the past I've dabbled with it, but never really got into it too deeply. Now I decided I'm just gonna dive in and do it. So I haven't been using Vim key bindings on stream so far, because I'm a little slower in Vim than I am normally. But I think for this, I'm going to go ahead and start using it, because I'm creeping towards being as fast, and I'm tired of switching back and forth. So, cool. So, goals for this. So we want to be able to generate 25 problem 0 or problem xx .rs files with let's see here, with a solve problem xxa function, a solve problem xxb function, a test mod with a test solves problem xxa, and a test solves problem xxb here. So this is, were you able to see this? Yes. Okay. So this is, when I switch repo, does it show up? No, it doesn't. It's only looking, okay, I'm gonna screen share for a moment because I'm switching back and forth between repos. So basically, it looks like this. Each of the problems has two functions for solving the problems. This one's really short because it was the first problem, but some of them are longer. Sometimes they'll end up having structs, doesn't matter. I just want to start with functions. That's the most basic thing. And then the test mod and the and a couple of tests, one for each problem. And actually within the test, I think I want to have some basic like each test has some basic boilerplate that we'll figure out, but like you have to load a file each time in particular. We also need to copy in input parser, which is a struct that I built just to do my input parsing. So if just basically it's a wrapper that does a few things, but it essentially pulls in different formats from the files, and I mean I can potentially do that myself. I maybe don't need to implement anything there. What else? And then we need mod.rs with each of the problem xx.rs's. And is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it. Okay. And we're going to use handlebars to do that. accomplish this. And it's pretty simple. Whatever, spec. Okay. Oops. Let's see here. Do we need to keep track of anything else? Not really. So I guess there's a question of where the templates are going to be. And I guess they can be in an assets folder in here, which seems okay. So we can do something like, let's just add this to GitHub quickly. And then let's do a new folder for templates. Okay. And we'll need a few of those. So we will need problem probably .txt. I don't actually know if the format matters. We will need mod.txt. Again, I don't know if the format matters, and we will need maybe input.txt. I think it's fine to have as well. And maybe we want each of these to be their own template. We can figure that out later. Okay. By the way, did I actually build this yet? I do not know. I did not. Okay. So that will build. Cool. So let's take a look at the templating language. And the basic idea is just to have the thing that we want written out as normal text, but then with handlebars that we can enter in, and then there's like some looping syntax and a few other things. So I think, let's see here, input.txt should be easy because it is exactly, whoops, yeah, I forgot that I was in Vim mode. What horrible thing have I done? Okay. Okay, so I need to select this entire file, and we're just going to copy this over. Copy pasting is a little weird in Vim, and I think this one is not going to need any templating at all, other than, ooh, there's a repo name in here that we'll need to update. So we can call this what? We can call this like file path or something. So handlebars file path. And wondering if I want to do something horrible like make these uppercase to make them really obvious. I think I don't. Okay, so that will be the one template parameter here. So that's a really good starting point, because now we can test. It's always good when you have dependencies to test your dependencies, because that's where a lot of things come up. So let's do that. And we'll end up making this a CLI, I think, a command line interface, but I don't think we're going to need multiple files in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and create test mod in the main function. Test advent of code. So code boilerplate generator. And let's say test templating basic template substitution. Okay. And let's see if we can work out how this works. So I expect the handlebars themselves to be really straightforward. It's this that we kind of want to get working. So let's take these. And we're not going to print anything. We are going to actually, let's do even better than that. Let's just call this basic handlebars example. Don't need this. Don't need this, but we could format. So let what does this return? Why is my hovering working? Unknown. Because maybe it's not. Handlebars, and insert a JSON. I probably don't have right now. JSON. Yeah, don't have this imported. Is there a link? Not really. Okay. And what to do? So this isn't compiling. Don't want to do this stuff. What if I just do let result equal this? Oh, okay. It doesn't want to return errors. That's fine. It's because I changed the return type of the function. So this, let's get rid of this. Register template string. Okay, so this is a result of a string or a render error. We know it's not going to error, so we can say insert equal results.unwrap is hello foo. Accurate. And then what's this about? Register template string. Okay. Register template. Oh, I see. Versus register template string. So that just, this puts in the data as a JSON. That puts in data just as a string. Well, guess I'll keep the test around. It's not that difficult. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's say let results, and then let's say assert hello TPL1, or good. Let's say good afternoon TPL1. Good afternoon. Is it capitalized? No, it does have a comma though. That one does not have a comma. And am I missing a parenthesis? No, what am I missing here? A toString. What am I missing here? Expected. Found assert equals. Oh, this doesn't return. Register a template string. Ah. I see. Template 1, good afternoon. I understand what this is doing. So this isn't, it's not that you're passing in, you're not instantiating it with something. It's that you're getting a template string out of it. And then you have to render. Okay. So, what to say about this then? I guess it's that we don't want any of this. And then we're gonna say assert reg.render TPL1 at JSON. Okay, that's basically this thing again. That, yeah. And I have failed to paste this correctly. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. We won't be doing it the old-fashioned way. Okay. JSON name foo. Okay, that ends the render. We unwrap this because we know it's not going to fail, or if it does, the test isn't working. And then this should say. This should say what? This should say foo. Okay. And this is saying it's not using anything. Oh, we're not using the result. Result may be an error, that so it should be handled. Okay, fine, but I know it's not an error. All right. Cool, test passed, that worked. Okay, so that is how you insert a string. So I guess what we want to do is load each of the template files and load each of the template files, register them as template strings, and then have a CLI that knows how to populate them. Okay, so let's actually use another file. And this will be what, like template, like create template, load template, template.rs, I guess. Test mod, template, loading and rendering, and test template loads. And here we'll do something like let input template, probably gotta be mutable, input, or let to say here. Let's see here. We're gonna want to have something that looks in a folder, loads all the templates. So let's say let templatizer equal templatizer new path new, and then I guess I'm gonna need the fully qualified path here. So let's say template path. And then that will, in the background, load the 3 templates. And then we'll say let assert equals templatizer dot length is 3. And then we can say something like assert equal templatizer dot get template input. Oops. I guess we need to populate it with some JSON, but we can do that. Dot, what was it called in register template string render? So we can say dot render, and sure, let's put foo in there. Actually, let's pull in mod though. I think would be better. And then we can do, well, maybe not. Let's do input. There's not going to be anything called name though. The thing was called like folder path or something. Input.txt, file path. Path, and sure, we'll call it foo, whatever. So, in principle, maybe this. No. Principle, there's a good way to fix your indentations in Vim, but I've forgotten what it is, so go figure. Cool. So this should not produce hello foo, this should produce a big long thing. We are going to just check its length. And maybe we'll do, oops, up in there. Oh, it's not yank, it should be, grab that. Do we need toString in here? I don't know if we do or not yet. So for now, let's assume that we don't. And we'll say let expected, let templatized input be this. And then we can even say, do we just want to test on the first few lines? How many lines does it take? It only takes 3 lines, so let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let line 0. Well, maybe let's assert the length first. Yeah, let's just assert the length first. I'm just gonna for now say that it is 0, which is obviously wrong, but we'll just get it from actually running it. That's really just to make sure that the code doesn't change, the length doesn't change over time as we're rerunning the tests. And then we can say let line 0 be templatized input lines nth. And then let's yank the line and say does not want to do that. Yank the line. What is happening? There we go. Okay. We want 2. And we want 2. And we want 1. And then we'll check that each of these are the correct thing. So assert equals line 0 should be something. Line 1 should also be something. also be something. The somethings are these. Okay with this? Probably not. I wonder if these curly brackets need to be oh, well, also the curly brackets shouldn't be in there. They should be what? They should be foo. But then this needs to be escaped. This needs to be escaped. Okay, and then these curly brackets might need to be escaped. Yeah, it kind of looks like they do. Okay. Cool, so that is a complete test. It should fail right now because... why didn't that fail? Oh, because we don't have this in the module yet. Mod template. And that template is fine. Yep, templatized input length. And what else we got? It doesn't like JSON. It doesn't know what this is yet. Okay. Lots of good stuff here. Use, what is it, stdfs path? Is that? Actually, you know what? I can probably get this out of the auto. Path, standard back. And then let's do const template path at string should be not quite that. And we'll grab this from eventually this won't be a constant. We'll pass it in, but well, maybe not. Yeah, probably shouldn't be. Okay. And then this becomes a kind of code boilerplate generator. Slash template. Okay, so we give it we inject the template path in, and good things happen to us. Okay, and then these are yelling at me. Why? They don't need to be escaped. If used in formatting string, it's not a formatting string, so they don't have to be escaped at all. Oops. Good stuff. All right, let's implement the templatizer. Construct templatizer. Yeah, it should have handlebars. Does it need anything else? No, because it'll have the handlebars within the templatizer. And we'll say pull templatizer, pub function new. We'll take a path. Oh, it should know the path. This should be a path, or maybe an ampersand path. It should return a self. And these shouldn't be public. And we want this to be path. And self path. Handlebars new. But actually, let's do something like self load templates path. And then we don't need to keep it around. So let handlebars be this. And then we actually don't need this. And and this becomes just handlebars. Okay. Load templates we'll have to implement. Handlebars is not found in the scope. That can be easily fixed. Why is it still yelling at me? Oh, it needs a lifetime specifier. Ugh. Interesting. Guess that's fine. So now this is a, and this is a, and then what's up with path? Oh. Okay, so we can make this an ampersand path. That's fine. And this will presumably need to be, it's not yelling at me. Path new returns. Okay, maybe it knows how to get a reference from itself. That's fine. Okay. So let's finish up how we load. So let's say function load templates, handlebars new, register template file. So close. Well, not really. I don't really know what this is. Let's, oh, interesting. Wait, is this a thing? Register a template from a path on the file system. Interesting. Okay. So to do. Let's get all the files first, I guess. So there's something like fs, like path ls, no, list, no, fs list, path, and then we register the content, and we return the handlebars. That's not quite how it works, though. I don't remember how ls works. Rust list files in directory. Read directory. Is what it's called. And then why can't we iter on it? Is it already an iter? Read directory returns IO result. Okay, we don't want to unwrap it. Interesting. So I have to do some error handling, because obviously reading from the directory can fail. What to do? It's weird to have a new function that can fail. That feels wrong to me. I guess I can call it like try new. Let's do that. Try new, and then it will be a result of self and a string error. And we'll just kick that error out, and otherwise it will be an okay of self, you know? It would be good if I knew how to spell. And all right. Cool, self-load templates, and then similar story here. Result yelling at me. Actually, though, why is result yelling at me? Oh, it needs a string also. Cool. And then we do not want to unwrap this. We instead want to map it, probably. I guess what we can do is, what to do? We can go map error. This thing, we go to unable to open file. And then we give a question mark. And now we're getting a read directory, which won't work. Can we iterate over that? Is that an iter? For path and path, yes it is. Aren't I already trying to iterate over it? read directory, it's an iterator. Why can I iterate over? Oh, it's already an iterator, that's why. Okay, and then for each entry, the entry is a file name. File contents. Directory entry has a path. It's the full path. File contents, read to string, entry path, and what's wrong with this? There's no path on the result. Sure. Wait, didn't I just make sure that we don't have an error here? Shouldn't this just kick the... Read directory returns a result of read directory. Map error. Why is entry the results now? I can just map on it, but it's because of this thing. It's IO result. What is IO result? IO result, just some alias. Yeah, it's just some alias. Map error applies a function. So this should be a string. Well, I want this as toString. Why does it still think that this is a result? Dear entry error. Confused. I wonder if I don't need to do this. I wonder if, okay, for each entry, it's not an iterator. Okay, but this successfully made it an iterator, but then each of the file contents can also be an error. Okay, I get it now. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, so let's match on, let's call it maybe entry. So I'll just call it entry for now. And let's try this. Let's try this. Can't I just register the file though? Isn't that the whole idea here? Don't I not have to do all of this anymore? So we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Entry.path. Can't I say register template file? name. We might need to strip that file name. Okay, we just got rid of the thing we didn't want to get rid of though. So let's say template, register template file name, and then this is just the path, no? And why don't we like this? Can't move out of path because it's borrowed. It's unclear why. I guess we can just do entry.path again. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this should register all the template files. If there's an error, we definitely want to throw. So let's say return error, unable to read file for now. Not the most helpful error ever, but not really expecting it to happen much either. Why expected unit type? Does this return? Not return for the whole function? Just returns within here. That's disappointing. I guess I could map this. Maybe that's the thing to do. So get rid of the matching. And then so let's see here. For each should still have one of these. This is yelling. So let's map. Let's map. And what to say here? We want so each element here might be an error. So match may be entry. Really just want to kick the error out. There must be a good way to do that. Like pull the first error out of a, let's see here, pull, let's see here, Rust pull error out of error. can move the result outside, and the iterators will take care of the rest. Interesting. So maybe I don't need to do this. In which case, for each and now the only issue is entry.path. Yeah, because each one of these is a result. Back to where we started. This is not find in particular. Iterating over results. A vector results can be turned into a result with a vector. That is what I want. But I would have to map instead of for eaching. So let result of nothing or a string be this. And let's say map here. Getting closer. A value. Okay, so now somehow we're not even getting the errors at all. These are results. So I guess I still have to map over. So this is still a maybe entry or an entry result. And then I would still have to map over this. So entry results dot map entry like this. This, we end this. Okay, and then these shouldn't be entry results, they should be entries. if we do this, how do our collects turn out? Okay, because I have to map one more error. Map error. And what to say? Unable to open file. Should be fine for the time being, and I want to, whoops. Definitely open. But then this one should really be unable to read directory. Right? Okay. And results doesn't really do anything, but at the end of this we're going to collect, and then it will do something. Maybe not. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'm not sure this was the most idiomatic way to do this, but I learned something. So we have these nested errors, and I'm just trying to propagate something helpful. And so, yeah, I don't know if this was totally it, but I think it'll work. I think it will work. Okay. So that will load the templates. It will output handlebars unless there's an error. Otherwise, it will return the error. Handlebars equals registry. No. Oh, yes. Interesting. Okay. Okay, and then we kick this out. Okay. Cool. Try new. Alright, and so then now we need to implement the length. Do something terrible. Okay, now we need to implement the length. So let's say pub function length. And this should be what should this be? This should be some way of getting the number of templatized. This needs to take a self. And then self.handlebars dot, there's no length, templates, get templates, number of templates, get templates seems reasonable. That length. Doesn't work, does it? Dot get templates dot length. All right, and then we just need to be able to get a specific template and render it. Actually, should we just... We should just say render template, right? Render template, you provide the key. Because get template and render seems like exposing a lot that I don't want to do. Yeah, this looks like what I want. And so let's update this guy to be render template, and template will be JSON. Is that what we called it? Oh, I just called it render. I think render template is better. Okay. Why don't we like this? Because this is a result now. And there we go. Very good, very good. Cool. Let's see if our test passes. It should, I believe. Fails. Unable to render template. Because we use the full file name. So let's use the file name up to the dot. I don't know, or maybe not. Who cares? Let's type in .txt. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. 2602. Do I believe that that's correct? I do not. Oh, that's characters. We can check, right? So what to say? So toString templates input. I just WC this. WC templates input. And I did mean length. Length. Items in a table. That's not what I want. I don't know how to use this terminal that I'm using. Let's see here. Can I do it in Git Bash? There we go. So that's 2611 characters is what that says, I believe. Pretty sure this works. It's been a while since I used this particular command. Yeah, 2611. Okay. And what did our test say? sounds familiar. Failed 2602. Yes, because it has fewer characters in it, because we templatize out file path with 4 extra brackets. So file path is 8 letters long, 4 extra brackets makes it 12, and we replace it with something that has 3 letters, so that should be a reduction by 8, which is correct. All right. And our test passes. Sweet. Okay, so we've loaded up those templates. Now we want to go ahead and create a way to instantiate them. And I think this is basically just in main. And for the moment, I'm just gonna say, let's see here. Let's take this file path out of here. And we'll import it instead. And then we'll have a couple more of these. Const output path. And I'm gonna put this in my, just gonna hard code this for now. Advent of code 2022. What we'll call that. And then this is basically just going to be a script. Where we're going to generate the input. And so generate input. Doesn't need to run on anything. And do I even need to generate the input? Maybe not. It's really just a big for loop. It's really just a big for loop. So let's see. Let's see. So let templatizer, like, sure, let's import, oh, actually, before we do this, sorry, I'm thinking out loud instead of actually doing this. So one thing is we're gonna have to import the template path, right? And so then, so I think we're essentially going to want to just loop through 0, basically 0 through 25, or 1 through 25, and populate mod, populate input. Actually, let's just happen once, and then loop through to populate problem.txt. Okay, so let's, before we jump in here, let's test the other templates. So I mean, this now is really test input template loads and renders. I think we're basically just going to do the same thing. Test input template, or test mod template, loads and renders. And here we'll do let templatizer is a new templatizer. Sure, we can assert this again. Render template mod rs. And okay, so the mod.rs needs to look like needs to pull in all of the problems. Oh, we're also going to need the input mod rs. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. Because what? It's going to need to look like this more or less, but we're going to for each it. So how do we do that using template parameters? Vim, handlebars, introduction. So we want something like this. So each, and then we pass in some sort of list. Why? Mod txt. So it's going to be each modules, and then for each one we will do something like not like that, like this. Yeah. We do want the new line at the end of it. We don't want it indented. But then this becomes each. That becomes this. Is what I'm led to believe. And then we can get rid of the rest of this stuff. Okay, and that's a template. That's like a list template. And so we'll call this, what will we call this? Modules. We already decided that. and this will be 1 through, let's just do 1 through 3 dot into iter dot map x format is it 0? I forget exactly how this works. 0, 2, it's something like that. X, and are my parentheses right? And it seems important that I collect after map. This should be a list of STRs, I think. Can I just say vec? Yes, I can. Okay. Let's fix some. Let's make this not a super long line. And collect is fine. This is where we need it to be. All right. So that's templatized mod that renders the template, and so now we want to say assert equal templatized mod dot lines dot length is 3, and let's assert that the first line lines dot next is fine, is mod problem 01. Yeah. And what happened here? Is this an iterator? So this is probably .count or .n or something. Lines. It's an iterator, so I think I can do .count. And what's wrong here? Next returns an option, not a result, so this is a sum. All right, if I do this, fails. Unable to render templates. Because my template name is .txt. Still failed. Says it has 4 lines. That is accurate. I guess I'm okay with that. And let's just say assert that templatized mod lines dot, can I say last is sum, and it's empty. Or maybe it's got, no, I think it should be empty. Fails. Left is mod pub. Okay, so I did this slightly, I just did the formatting slightly wrong. Is it like 0, 2? I never remember these format strings. Pub mod is fine. Okay. Making progress, which is good because I have like 20 more minutes. Okay. So last test is going to be that the problem template loads and renders. We're going to do the same thing. Templatizer. Templatizer try new. Sure, let's make sure it's 3. Templatizer problem, problem.txt, problem number. Is that the only thing I need? I think it is. So we'll assert equal. The length is however long we think it is. Problem. We haven't pasted it in yet. We'll do. Oops. I really gotta stop randomly clicking stuff when I'm in Vim mode. So all of this, let's yank it and then paste it in here. And what to update? So it's going to be solve problem. Ooh. I guess that's fine. Okay, solve problem. And this will be problem number. And then let's just not have anything in here. I guess we can make it unimplemented. Yeah, let's make it unimplemented. Unimplemented. Same thing here. And test problem. Problem number. Oh, we missed a template here. Number. I guess everywhere that we have problem 0, 0, anything, we can replace it. So do I remember how to do that? Problem 0, 0, anything can be replaced with problem number. And we'll just do that everywhere. Parse as input. Same thing here. Didn't really replace it everywhere, did it? Just do it in here for now. Problem 0, 0 dot 0, 0 dot, and we turn on regex. Should be replaced by problem number. And then this is the one other case. Problem number. Okay. And here as well. Should actually be problem underscore this should be problem underscore. Did I mess that up other places? No, I got it right the other places. Cool, because there are 2 problems for each one. And then we'll go ahead and, these are fine. I like to have input and shortened input parsed. We'll just make these string for now. And let's assert that these are 0 and assert that these are 0. That seems very reasonable. And then we will paste this guy in here, and all of these can go away. This should be problem number B. Oops. And take 10, we parse as string. This uses the same input, that seems fine. And then I don't think I want any of this. We can always add extra tests if we want them. Okay, this looks pretty good to me. So let's do our final test here. Templatized problem has how many? It's 39 lines. Okay. And let's see here. Anything else we should test? Ties problem dot lines nth should be nth. What's a good line to pick? 29. 29 should be some this, and this should be 0, 1. Okay. Fails. Oh. Should be the 28th line, yeah. Nice. Okay. So now we just run this as a script, basically. So let's see here. Let's say, dear, advent of code 2022. So now we have it. And what to do? We're gonna do let templatizer equal templatizer try new the path. It's never heard of this thing before. We import it. It's never heard of this thing before. We import it. Okay. And then it's just a series of I guess I need to be able to write out the template as well. So let's say function render template to file. Perfect. That is what I want. And then I'm gonna get myself in trouble because I'm rushing to finish this. So we will say templatizer render template to file input.txt, where the data is file name. This needs to be some JSON blob. Where's my JSON blob? Somewhere in here. Let's make this not terrible. Okay, JSON blob. Place this. It should not be foo. It should be output path. Is that right? Output path slash input, right? What's going on here? Output path.join. Let's see. Let input path be path join path new output path input slash input.txt. And then this can be input path. And that tries to render to a file. And where should that render to? It should render to source. Let input output path be path.join source input rs. Source input rs. And this will just be output path. Okay. Render template to file. We don't do anything with the result. I think that's okay. Let input mod path be path.join source input mod rs. That looks good. Templatizer render template to file, and this will be mod.rs. Oh, also. Wait, that's the template. Sorry, mod.txt. It's a little confusing with the file path endings. The data will be at JSON of modules, a single thing with input. I'm realizing that something isn't quite right. This needs to just be this. And then in template, I need to provide problem underscore that. We should run our tests before we run anything else, but we need things to compile. Render template to file, JSON, and then this needs to be the input mod path. Problem mod path is path join problem mod.rs. Templatizer, we render the mod template, and the modules is 1 through 25 mapped to do I need intuitor here? I think I do. Mapped to formats, problem underscore x, and then problem output path. We need to collect this. We should collect it in the right place. And it's got to be a vector. Okay. And then problem path. Join problem. No, we need a for loop. For I in 0, no, 1.25. Problem path is that. And we pass in problem number I. Okay. This looks right to me. All my tests are still passing. I wish I had a way to dry run this, but I really don't. So, am I gonna do anything horrible here? I guess I should get init in that other file to make sure. as well. Okay. Template path. So we're not using the template path anywhere in here, except to get the templates. Okay. I guess let's git add all, git commit, implement templatization, git push origin main, and let's see what happens. Cargo run, it ran. I don't see anything horrible that's happened. Let's open up Advent of Code 2022. And what do we get? What do we get? Source, main, nothing going on. At all. Nothing happened. Okay, let's check the let's check the errors. We can just unwrap these, I guess. And do it again. Okay, and it yells unable to write to file. Okay, so we probably need the other folders in place there. So let's see here. Inputs. We need inputs. And is that it, or do we need problem also? We need problems also. And I'm realizing, did we handle that? Close. Okay. Unable to write. Okay, all of them ran except for that one because of this. So now I imagine if I look at our other repo, we have input, we have problems, not bad. Let's reset. I guess that's not what I wanted to do, huh? Let's delete these. Delete this. And remake those. Input is fine. Wait, what did I just do? Oh no, I just recreated these. Okay, let's set up folder structure. And now we fixed this guy. There's one other thing I saw that didn't look right to me. Can't remember what it was though. Cargo run. And, oh, I know. It was all of these. Get reset hard. How do I... All of these are still here. They're all still here. Okay, well, so the only real big thing that's wrong with that is this looks a little weird with all of the line returns in between. I am going to update that in the template. So this doesn't need line returns, and then in template.rs, this does just go to 3, and this goes away. And let's rerun this. It fails. It's only 2. Pubmod this, pubmod this. Why is it only 2? Because we're going from 1 to 3 when we need to be going from 1 to 4. Okay. These tests still passing. I wonder what happens if I run this again. Does it just overwrite things? It does. It just overwrites things. Okay. And so now we have problems through problem 24. We need problems through problem 25. So this should be 1 through 26. And this should be 1 through 26. All right. And one more time. And there we go. We have 25 problems. Each of our problems is set up with the right things. If I run cargo test on this, what happens? Test result. Nothing ran. Oh, because my main function doesn't include these yet, which is fine. I'm happy to put that in myself. Mod input and mod problems. Now every single one of them has a problem. I'm missing a exclamation mark there. And I'm missing a problem here. Okay, well, I need to wrap up. What is this? Parses string, shortened input, collect. Oh, the return types. String. Solve. dereference the string. Just clone it. I mean, this is just the stub. So and here we go, cargo test. Boom. Bunch of tests failed, but they're all failing because of unimplemented. Oh, parses binary and parses input aren't working. Interesting. Oh yeah, because there are no actual input files here, so we would need to put some input files in. But I think this works. Code gen boilerplate. Nice. Well, that was where I wanted to get to. It took me a little longer than I meant to, but basically, hopefully, you were able to see how powerful the templating was. Like in this particular case, could I have done it faster by doing it manually myself? Maybe. But I've used this to really good effect in the past. These templating engines can be really, really, really powerful if you need to create like documentation in particular, or like transform one type of document into another. Can be really, really powerful. Can also be really powerful for things like code gen, like this. So I hope this was useful. I hope it was interesting. I hope everybody is having a good Monday, and I will catch you next time. Take care.